Today we're taking a look at a 2019 Dodge Grand Caravan GT, which is the fifth and final generation model of the Caravan, sold from the 2008 to 2020 model year, before it was replaced by the Chrysler Voyager and the Chrysler Pacifica. The Caravan was first introduced in 1984 and it was a huge success, basically creating the minivan segment as we know it today. Many kids from my generation grew up with a minivan in their household, and that was no different for our family. We had a 1995 Dodge Grand Caravan, and it was a great vehicle for us over the years. It was never something that I was that excited about. I didn't love it. I was never that proud of it when my family would drop me off at school in it, but it was a great vehicle nonetheless. I grew up with three brothers, and it would fit our family of six no problem, along with all of our luggage on long road trips. It was fairly comfortable, fairly fuel efficient, and got a lot of jobs done very well. The Caravan has a nice appearance with a look that is a bit European, being tall and skinny with a classy look that consists of clean natural lines, unlike some of the more dramatic and eccentric styling that you see on the Honda Odyssey or the Toyota Sienna. Although a nice design when it was first introduced, it definitely began to show its age by the end of its 12-year lifespan, but has still stood the test of time well as a nice looking option. The GT model gives the Caravan a sportier look with its 17-inch wheels and monochromatic exterior, along with its fog lights. The GT also comes as a fully loaded model with the added touch of leather seating with red stitching and a sportier suspension. The Caravan doesn't attempt to make minivans exciting, but it also doesn't try too hard, which in many ways is a good thing compared with some of the competitors. Even though this Caravan is the GT model, it's got the same 3.6 liter six-cylinder that you'll find on other fifth generation Caravans, which has 283 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque and is paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission. That's good for a 0 to 60 time of 7.8 seconds, max tow capacity of 3,600 pounds, and a fuel economy rating of 17 miles per gallon in city and 25 miles per gallon on the highway. In a world where crossovers and SUVs have really kind of taken over the marketplace, why would a buyer still consider a minivan? Well, there are a lot of great things about a minivan that you don't necessarily get with an SUV or a crossover. One of those is the ride quality. These drive a lot more like a car than an SUV or a crossover. You've got a lower center of gravity, very smooth, very quiet, very comfortable. Definitely an advantage there. And then along with that, you also get pretty good fuel economy for the size of the vehicle. The other thing that's really nice about minivans is that they're very spacious inside, more so than a similarly sized SUV or crossover. The reason for that is that on SUVs and crossovers you tend to get more ground clearance, and so from a vertical standpoint the vehicle has shrunk down, meaning inside you don't have as much headroom and you have less cargo space.
The interior of the Caravan is very nice. It's spacious because of the proportions, being tall and boxy. We get plenty of head, leg, and shoulder room as well as cargo capacity. We get bucket seats for the driver and front passenger, and this model's also got the bucket seats for the middle row passengers. This is a GT model, so it comes very heavily loaded, and we also get leather seating with red stitching. A few of the nice features on this model include the heated seats, heated steering wheel, tri-zone climate control, HomeLink garage door opener, power doors and liftgate, and just all around the Caravan is full of features that make it very usable and family friendly.
Not surprisingly, the Caravan's not the most exciting vehicle out there to drive, even in this GT form, but nonetheless, it's still a pretty nice vehicle to drive. It's smooth, it's quiet, it's comfortable. It's going to be pretty good for those day-to-day trips or for those long road trips, and you're never going to feel like there's any real lack of power. It's not particularly quick, but a 0 to 60 of 7.8 seconds isn't bad either, and even the tow capacity of 3,600 pounds is pretty impressive, given the type of vehicle that this is. Unfortunately, the Caravan's no longer offered with an all-wheel drive system, which is kind of a bummer. It does come with front-wheel drive, so it's decent in inclement driving conditions, but they used to make it in all-wheel drive. Handling in the Caravan is another story. It's definitely not going to be the most fun vehicle to drive on those really windy roads, especially if you're sitting in the back seat. I know from experience growing up with our 1995 Caravan, obviously these newer ones have improved in terms of the overall ride quality, and this being the GT model has a slightly stiffer suspension, which is going to be better in those situations, but it's definitely a pretty soft suspension even on the GT. The advantage to that, of course, is on the really bumpy roads, it's going to absorb a lot of those imperfections. If you're looking at buying a minivan and you're wondering why you should consider the Caravan, The biggest reason would be the affordability factor. I'd say there are definitely nicer minivans in this segment. The Honda Odyssey, for example, I think it's more attractive. It's got a nicer interior, more features, but it's gonna be a lot more expensive than the Caravan as well. Because the Caravan was first introduced in 2008 and spanned 12 years before it was replaced by the Chrysler Voyager and the Pacifica, they were able to sell it at a much more competitive price point than what you saw with the Odyssey. And even beyond the affordability, I think that the Caravan is still a nice option to consider. It's very spacious inside, it comes with a nice level of standard features, it's smooth, it's quiet, it's comfortable, and it's got a good powertrain as well. So that's a look at the 5th and final generation model of the Dodge Caravan. If you guys have any comments or questions, leave them in the section below. And for more car reviews, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.